तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी याद 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 तेरी याद
Yo, what's good?
Yo,
Welcome to the
yo.
Hesi Podcast. You already know what it is. It's another week, another freaking Wednesday where we get to talk sports. I got my dog here, Big 30 The Truth,
You
also
already know
known
what
as
it
Sports
is.
Plug Russ. What's goody?
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Chilling like three villains trying to kill Superman, dog.
Aren't we all, my G? Aren't we freaking all, dogs, for real? Man. So I got my Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay cognac.
Okay, you said you had it. I got beer.
I got it
and
today. I got it today.
I got beer. I got beer, and I kind of fucked up my pour, so I'm over here watching the bubbles just sit there. I'm good though. We gonna make it happen. I got a trick I learned.
Okay.
Um, in college. If you know, you know. But now let's talk sports, bro. Hump day, get into it.
Hump
I'm
day,
not gonna lie to you. Those that were watching, like, what the fuck? Why is he not paying attention? So I was sending out these shares to these people so they could watch the show because I wanted to get consistent. And on top of that, I will say if I send you a link, and I shared it with you, on God, just hit that notification button. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just one more notification. You're gonna like, subscribe, hit that notification. That way, every night when we start, no matter when we start, it'll pop up for you.
Yeah, gotta hit that noti.
Swipe left if you want to. I ain't gonna be mad at you. Sometimes you're busy. You can come catch us on the audio version or later on YouTube. But you know what I'm saying? Hit that bell, hit that subscribe, that like.
Yeah, make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe to the Hezi, man. The show is growing. It's been fun so far. And we are approaching the
What up, though? My bad, I see it coming.
No,
I will say this because we are trying our best to be the most interactive podcast with the people that do watch us live, more so than anybody else. We are the voice of ourselves and hopefully a couple fans. You know what I'm saying? Not the bullshit, just the real shit. We talking like you talking home.
You gotta do all three, bruh. You got
all three. And put the guns away, Joe. Put the guns away. But welcome to the show. Yo, hit that bell so you already know what's coming.
So hold on now, because you sent me an
invite.
By
the way, I'm about to say
you sent me an invite.
This Joe, it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen.
Dog,
you want to?
I ain't gonna cap. I'm a little intimidated.
You know what? I'll say this. Let me say this though. It's high comp. Like, this guy right here is very nice. That's in the chat, but he will try to put 100 on you. But it'll be in the most it'll be the most respectful way possible because we have rules. But if you ever want to like lab or work on playing, I'm available. I can hit him up.
Let's do it.
Like it is. We always say this, and Joel put in the chat. Hell yeah, Russ. You come to play, man, but you stay for the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gets down, and it makes you a better player if that's what you want to be. And of course, winning brings you bread, and everybody likes to get cash, but you got to win to get the cash. But it's really fun. Everybody that's joined it has had a lot of fun. Whether you play one season or 15, you know what I'm saying? It's dope.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I when does it start?
Actually, we're still feeling it right now. It is cross-play compatible, so once we do get it filled, you will get the notification, and there will be a random team select process. I believe it's going to be by like everybody's name's going to go into like a bag and then get thrown out, and then the names will go as follows, and everybody will pick their team because we have come to realize that is the most fair way. I have been on both sides of the spectrum. And let me tell you, actually, when you get a dope team, things go bad for you because everybody wants you to lose. Like, it feels like when you get a dope team on there, everybody wants to kick your ass. But when you get a sorry team, it's like people let you build. It's a weird dynamic in our community, but it's dope either way. And plus, this type of gameplay for any of those that are watching that are into the game. Before we get into sports, I know some of y'all may be like, I don't play the game, but for those that do play, this is like the best mixture of Madden Ultimate Team, and franchise all mixed into one, with a lot of things in place to make sure it's the best ever.
Oh, they busting you,
But
dog.
you know what? Don't put, hey, nah, Jags got my ass today. That shit was crazy. And I beat the shit out of my boy Polo. But then the next game it got rough. But you know what? I got something in store for that draft. I might stream the draft because what I'm about to do in this draft, Joe, like, if the problem is Dak Prescott, we're gonna get off of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys on this game because they built him too much like his real life counterpart.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but not ONG is the name. That's the new season. If you have Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and you trying to get down in the most competitive franchise mode you have ever seen, and with the best money prizes you have ever seen, then fuck around and fuck with us. You can get at me as follows on Twitter, on Instagram, on everything. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's jump into this thing. So right off the bat, we're going to be talking some NBA, a lot of NBA, and a little bit of NFL. Not too much to talk about in the NFL, but as we kind of pivot toward the NBA season, we're going to be talking about a lot more college basketball too. We'll get into that,
Yes.
and then we'll start talking draft here soon. But
the Big 12
let's start it off.
I just wanted to say, when we get into the college basketball, I'll just say this: the Big 12 has become what the SEC is in football. It has become that in basketball. This shit is the livest shit ever, and nobody in that conference.
Oh, dude!
Safe.
Every time you look, Kansas has lost another game,
bro.
But everybody's good in that league.
Houston
everybody's good.
Everybody is good.
Yeah, they're good, man.
Yeah, it rivals the old time Big East and ACC. But let's get on to it.
Let's do this. Joel Embiid. Ouch. He's pretty much out for the season now. They're saying that there's a good chance that he can come back during the regular season. But when a guy that is 7 feet tall has a knee injury, there's no reason to rush him back. I would hope that they really would just take it easy with him and not, because he's had injuries. Now, he's been pretty good the past few seasons, not having major injuries. But I still feel like they need to do their best due diligence to not rush him back and just kind of, maybe kind of punt till next year. Thoughts on Joel Embiid's injury?
I think what you laid out is like just a truth that is unfortunate. I yelled out, ouch. And that's not only probably what he felt when Kuminga, the cum bucket, fell on him, but as he wanted to be named, by the way, to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could see that not only hurt him, but it's going to hurt that team immensely.
Yep.
I do think that the growth of Maxey in this time period is important, because if he cannot come back and perform at a high enough level to get them to a championship, or if he doesn't feel like he can, then there's no reason for him to do so, because it would just literally be waste, wear, and tear on him. And so I think you're right. I don't think it's like I guess you could say it could be a throwaway year. I guess if you're thinking about getting rid of some assets, you know what I'm saying, that you think maybe getting older, or you think you can replace. But you just let Maxey do his thing. He's an all-star this year and just continue going on. Now, if a miracle happens and he plays, who knows? But yeah, the cum bucket is balling. No, I just think it's a bad situation. Nobody likes injuries. We all hate injuries. It ruined his chances at MVP. Even though we all were talking about like he really didn't want to win MVP. He didn't really want to win MVP. He wanted to go for a championship. So it's just a bad situation overall. And just hope that he does heal up for next year. Philly, I don't think you should like tank, because there ain't no really reason to, but make Maxey the number one option, and hopefully he just keeps blossoming in the ways that you think he can. That's about all you can do.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's the first guy that I think of is like Greg Oden. Greg Oden kind of has the same like body type as Joel Embiid, and
he's bigger though.
He's bigger for sure.
Like I think Joel is like actually like, I don't want to say the term, but he's the opposite of slim.
And
his build.
But 7 feet tall, kind of thicker build. You just, man, with a 7-footer and as like good as Embiid is, I would just, man, I really would just consider just benching, like letting him rest for the rest of the season, man, and just come back next year, get that knee strong. I mean, when you look at it, you made a good point. You said that, and not necessarily a throwaway year, but you got to look at the development of guys like Tyrese Maxey and some of their other players, which has gone really well. So you got to be excited about that. So you're thinking, it's like, okay, how, do you have any assets you want to trade? Like, how long is, some of these guys on their roster, namely a power forward from the University of Tennessee. It's time for him to go. It's time for him. I don't even want to say his name.
I know some Toby fans. You know what I'm saying? And that's the person I was thinking of. But I'm not down on Mr. Harris. You know what I'm saying? No tip. But I do think that he's a guy. I do think that he's a guy that probably would be best served in a team that's going to be going for a championship at this point in time. Yes. But if I'm the 76ers, unless I can get a good deal and get rid of his contract, there's no reason for me to get rid of him, because if what we're saying is true, Joel comes back. And one thing that's different about big men than any other position in the sport is that big men have the ability to take their team the entire way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With one flashy or one ginormous or one just extravagant postseason. We saw it with Dirk. That's the one that shines the most. And so I think that's where you're looking like, man, do we get rid of him? Because if we get rid of him and we replace him, and the guy we replace him with doesn't do as good of a job, where are we at? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're gonna have to replace Tobias Harris. He shouldn't be named, but they're gonna have to replace him with someone that's gonna not only be able to play defense on a high level, but that's gonna be capable. He's not consistent, which is one of the problems. He's gonna have to be capable of scoring like upwards of 20, 25 points a game. And honestly, that's not that easy to find. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. He does a good job what he does, but you are correct that if a deal does come up, then they should take it, just not from Dallas.
All right, so real quick though, I wanted to how about I tell you Joel Embiid's injury history, and then I want you to tell me how you really feel about him moving forward. Because when you look at it on paper, you're like, damn, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. So Joel Embiid had a right foot injury in 2014. Okay. It didn't heal correctly. Okay. It was originally supposed to sideline him for 4 to 6 months. It turned out to be 2 seasons. So he missed the 2014-2015 season and the 2015-2016 season. Okay.
Yep.
Left.
He was hurt in college. He was hurt in college too.
Mm-hmm. He had a back injury in college.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Jayhawks fan. So.
Yep. Torn left meniscus in 2017. Okay. He started the season. He only played 31 games that season, and he was done. Okay.
Yep.
And in 2018, he had an orbital fracture. That was the one where he was wearing that clear mask. Yep. So he was out. That one's fine because that's not like like below the waist, right?
Yeah.
In 2019, he had a sore knee. He missed 14 games.
Why you say it like that? He had a sore knee. The nigga was crying in the corner.
14 games is big. 14 games.
The way you said sore. The way you said sore was like.
Nigga, come on now. Shit. 2019 season, he had a sore knee. Missed 14 games in the final stretch of the season. Okay. And then 2020, torn left hand ligament. This one, let's see, kept him out for like 9 games or something like that. Right. He had a knee bruise in 2021. That's fine. I mean, people get knee bruises. And that was the COVID-19 season. So nobody cares about that, right?
You know what? Oh, it's not over? This list keeps going?
Oh, yeah, it keeps going.
Oh, damn. This shit is like a Cassidy freestyle. Go ahead, though.
And then in 2022, he's listed as multiple hand injuries, that he underwent multiple procedures on both hands. I don't know how your hands get fucked up, but he had surgery to repair 2 injured fingers, addressing a torn ligament in his right thumb. And then, and then his left index finger he had surgery on.
Damn, nigga, you're playing basketball. What is going on? This sounds like an offensive line.
Playing offensive line, nigga.
Nigga, this is This is
Okay.
basketball.
And then lastly, we got the one that we know now, the left knee injury. Okay, that is a meniscus injury or whatever, whatever they want to come out and say. Now, this is a left knee bruise in 2021. I'm going somewhere with this. Sore left knee in 2019. Okay, torn left meniscus in 2017. That's why I say rest this man.
Nigga, rest. Nigga, put that nigga in a
Put the nigga in a
hyperbolic
coffin, right?
chamber. Nigga, put him in a hyperbolic chamber. Freeze him. Nigga, I know when it's cold, that nigga's knees be hurting, boy. Joel got them football injuries, boy. Hands fucked up, back fucked up, knees fucked up. God damn, nigga, you in the trenches on the court. Nah, but I think number one, man, y'all niggas got to stop fouling Joel, man. Y'all beating this man up. See, this is what happens when you don't get the foul call. And you 7 foot and they just beat you up. But no, in all seriousness, it's nothing against him. And I make the jokes, but all jokes aside, like sometimes you just get hurt when two bodies just bang, and of course it is basketball. So like a lot of the basketball players are not built for it tough like a football player would be. And or even if football players get hurt, basketball is not a sport that you can just play at an optimum level fucked up. Like it's just not a sport you can do just fucked up like that. Like now, like that, it pleads your case. You need to rest them. But I think going forward, you have to just roll with the punches. Like sports is one thing that, like a basketball, I'll say, from a fan's perspective, watching it, like it's one thing that you have to roll with the punches. Once a guy reaches a potential and he's injury prone, you just have to roll with the punches because when he's not hurt, you can win a championship. If he gets hurt, you know what I'm saying? Then I mean, he got hurt. Like injuries happen. Like T-Mac happens. Like if T-Mac stays healthy his whole career, the Rockets may have one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just one of those things. If Chris Paul stays healthy, it's just one of those things that can happen. That's why we hate injuries so much, is because they're just the one thing that can fuck up anything, no matter how good or bad it's going. But yeah, so I think you just rest him this season, and then you let him come back next year and just hope that he can make it through. Now, I do think there's little things that they can do, which I think the 76ers have tried. There's little things you can do is like try to surround them with players, Maxey, that make it to where they lighten the load. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say Tobias Harris being on the team is kind of important, because as a third person, you can depend on him. You get someone else that,
but he needs another big that can give him pivotal minutes. That's what they need, and those are hard to find. You know what I'm saying? A big that can give you like 10 points. 12 rebounds or something, something around that nature. Like if a Mason Plumlee, right, would be perfect.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I was going to ask you rather, is like, is that really available in abundance in the NBA? Like that's the scarcity in the NBA. It used to be you could find just a big ass dude that could get under the goal and do those things for you. The problem was you had to play against Shaq, Yao Ming, Tim Duncan, and now that those guys aren't here, the other big men in the league are kind of non-existent, or if they are 6'10" and above, they shoot threes.
Go get Hunter Dickinson in the second round. Come on, he can give you at least 10 points and 6 or 7 rebounds a game.
I'll say this. Like him, there's another kid, but players like him,
for sure.
In the NBA. The NBA is not the NFL. And this is just my opinion solely. The NBA is not the NFL. You cannot depend on any rookies unless you drafted him number 1. And if you drafted him number 1, number 2, or number 3, I think the fall off is like after number 4. But like, and that's just in totality. Like you can't really depend on them to be like real contributors. That's because most of these motherfuckers is like 19. And even if they are 22, they're fighting to get on the floor to get over the 19-year-old you drafted the year before, because potential rules everything. So that's just,
No, it's tough. But I think it's one of those things where you look at the list of injuries for Embiid and they got to try to, prolong his career. And he can't be playing all those minutes that he plays. They might want to get on the Kawhi Leonard route and kind of consider something like that, because a guy with his skill set and as good as he is, he can't play 82 games a year, man. He's probably best playing 50 to 60 games, right?
But that's why you need a guy like Maxey that's why injuries are bad, but that's why when you look, look for the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So this is going to give Maxey an opportunity to be like, okay, so I can play 82 games a year. Like I'm me as a, unless I get hurt,
Right.
Maxey, I can play. I love balling. I'm only 20, 21 years old. So I can do this. Like, so this will give him an opportunity to see how to win games, not just how to play in them and be productive, but how to guide his team to victory. So if Joel isn't playing, or if they're playing a game and a back-to-back, you can sit Joel. Joel's
Right.
at the point in his career where he's not going to care about the MVP. He's not going to, honestly, for him, I don't think he does. All the money, everything, but I don't think he's going to care about the MVP. I don't think he's going to care about no scoring title. I don't think Joel Embiid cares about anything except for being able to put Philly at the top and win a championship, or at least get to the finals to have that opportunity. And so I just think that getting Maxey here, learn how to win some games on your own, young fella, so that next year we can depend on you and we can have this all culminate to the end of the season where we can go for a championship.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about. I kind of threw a curveball in here at you, but the East standings, right? So when you see
Okay.
the loss of Joel Embiid, right? One, if I'm a
Mhm.
player, I'm thinking, okay, like our road to the Eastern Conference Finals maybe just got a little bit easier, right? Regardless if he comes back, when the playoffs start, he's not going to be 100%, right? So
Yeah.
currently, you got the Boston Celtics at number 1,
Of
Cleveland
course.
at number 2. Cleveland's having a surprisingly really good season again. The Milwaukee Bucks at number 3. Yeah, surprisingly.
I think you're giving them a little shade because it's in Cleveland, and Cleveland is the armpit of America. You
I'm
know what I'm
not doing
saying?
that. I ain't doing that. I'm just saying.
LeBron was just a nice stick of degree.
Okay.
LeBron was Old Spice. It just made it smell
Nigga.
good for a little while, but Cleveland still stinks. Every time someone
You,
says something bad, like, "Oh yeah, you ain't from LA. What you from Cleveland?"
nah,
Even us
see,
down here,
you
you
ain't
gonna
finna
come.
do that. Nigga, before the season, you nor I, if we were to say, hey, give me the top 5 teams in the East, I don't think either one of us would have picked the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But okay, but Pete,
right?
But Pete, they're like they would have been number 6 because you're looking at the Celtics, the Bucks, the Knicks, the 76ers, and the Heat.
Uh-huh.
That's the ones who everybody think is gonna cook. After that, you got Cleveland and the Pacers. Okay, out of those two, when you watch them play, both of them play good, or not when you watch them play. If you would have thought of them on paper, you think of, oh wait, this is what Donovan Mitchell should be doing on a team. That you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Mhm.
to me, Cleveland being number 2 is not so much as a surprise. It's more of like, this is why you made that trade. You do have a lot of talent on the team. It's just you play in the same conference as the Celtics, the Bucks, and now we see the Knicks. And of course, because of an injury, 76ers are going to fall out, but of course him as well. So we're just looking at them like, until you do it, do it. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
they are the hottest team in the league right now. They've won 7 consecutive games. So, maybe 2 weeks ago, they would have been, looking like we kind of thought
Can I
they
ask
looked.
you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you say they're the hottest team you could say they're the hottest team in the East right now, but I would say in the league, the motherfucking Clippers.
Man, I ain't giving it. You know I hate the Clippers. And I will give them no
okay.
love. No love.
Okay, so me and you are in the same boat, and I actually thought about this today. I was like, you know what?
And the Clippers have they've won 4 consecutive games,
but they're like 25 and what, like
they've only lost 15 games.
No, and like since December, since the trade or whatever, and since James been balling with all of them, like they've only lost like 5 games and won like 25 or some crazy shit. But okay, here's why though. I understand because we don't care what happens right now. I was just saying that they are the hottest team, in my opinion, right now. But we all know that we waiting for the playoffs to see what y'all do in the playoffs because only one of y'all, Russell Westbrook does his thing. James, we looking at you, and that you already know what that is. That Paul, you've had your ups and downs and everything, but it's really just because they got James Harden, and James Harden, every single one of his teams looks like this. Until the second round of the playoffs. And so I get it, but I will give them their props right now. You done put the King Kawhi back in effect because them niggas winning. But again, he may be the ultimate, maybe the guy that can ultimately bring them over the top. But nah, I'll just say back to the other side. Cleveland, I'm not too like surprised. Surprise isn't the word, because surprise is like if the Pacers were a little surprising. You didn't expect Halliburton to go off like this, but the Cleveland, it's like y'all traded for Donovan Mitchell. Y'all added the pieces around him. You got Darius Garland. You got Allen. You know what I'm saying? You have a good basketball team. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's time for you to operate. So I'm not necessarily surprised. It's going to be more or less so, what are you going to do with this opportunity now? And what are you going to look like when you have to play someone like the Greek Freak, or when you have to play Tatum and them, and it's a 7-game series? Because that's what it's going to boil down to.
Yeah, no, it's we'll give them their due. They're number 2 in the East right now, and the West is a gauntlet, though. And it brings me to my next topic here. You and I both are Dallas Mavericks fans.
Yes.
And if you are a Mavericks fan, and every day that you open up any kind of outlet to where people report on the Mavericks, the Mavs are always linked in some bullshit motherfucking trade.
Bruh.
And I'm tired of it. I am tired. Dude, they said, they're like, oh yeah, the Mavs are on, they're gonna get Bobby Portis for Grant Williams. I'm like,
why?
What is that gonna do?
Bro, I don't know why we have to be thought of as the NBA's heels have eyes kid. Like the price goes up every time we go look. Bro, this man Dorian Finney-Smith, they talking about 2 first-round picks.
Hell no.
What the fuck? And but everybody else, we looking to trade him. He might be able to go for one. Mavericks walk in the store and the price go up about $100 to $155 more $1,000. When we talk about,
shouldn't have traded him in the first place.
I mean, you had to get. I'm not gonna. I know.
Yeah.
You're supposed to sign Brunson. You sign Brunson. You keep the team together. I know. Can't live in the past. So I respect the fact that they realize we lost a guy in Brunson, and the only way that we're going to be able to replace that and get the fans off our ass is to get a guy that's actually can be considered better than him, and Kyrie can do that. And after what he did last night to Brooklyn, I know motherfuckers is giving him respect. Even the ones that don't, you got to give respect. So I'm not mad about that, because that's good damage control by the front office to be like, okay, we fucked up, but let's fix it. But I'm sorry. Don't take me to finish line with a wad full of cash and walk me to the 50 spot and say, come get these $50 New Balances. Not the ones that are cool, but the ones that people mow grass in. Don't tell me I got to get the dollar flip-flops and we got millions and millions of dollars. I want to know, why in the fuck is everybody in their feelings, and why are they talking about some PJ Tucker? I'm not PJ Tucker. I'm not PJ. No, I'm sorry. Not him. My bad. I misspoke. PJ Washington.
What is
PJ Washington? Hold up, wait a minute, because PJ Washington is like the hottest name on the Mavs trail, and Mavs fans have an affinity for people that aren't as good as they need to be to win championships. That's as nice as I can say. Mavs fans love a mediocre NBA player. Like, they love them to death. And I live in the city, and I don't know what's wrong with us or them, the section of the fan base that just likes to have guys that just don't really get it done and aren't really magnanimous. Hell, half the fan base didn't want Kyrie just because they didn't like him. It's weird out here. But to that point, you trying to tell me, and they're raising the price, talking about 2 first-round picks and Josh Green, or a first-round pick and Josh Green for PJ Washington. My whole thing is, why the fuck is you shopping for PJ when you should be shopping for Miles? Miles Bridges is a creature baby monster. Tonight he had 36 3/4, and I've been banging a drum on this. Get out of your feelings. It happened. You have to, if you're willing to give people another chance, then give it. Like, if you want to trade something for a player, get one like that. That guy can guard everybody. That guy can hit his open shots. That guy is going to be a monster flying through the air for Luka Oops. That guy right there is an X Factor game changer. Don't try to sell me on the guy backing him up. Like, what the fuck? And the Mavs fans, why are you sitting here like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get the guy that can't beat out the guy that they're looking to trade. RTB, nigga. Like, get him. I know everything in the background is bad about that shit, but that's our Draymond Green. Like, that's
I'd
the
be
guy
okay
that
with
we
them going to
need.
get Kyle Kuzma. Go get Kuz.
That was I got one for that one too, but that's the first one. But that only reason I had to rant about that one first, Sterling, is because I see a lot of chatter online about PJ Washington, like he gonna come here and make us a motherfucking championship
now,
team.
I'm gonna tell you why though. Let me tell you why everybody's on his nuts right now, because that dude dropped 43 a few weeks ago.
But that's the problem, though. People are on his nuts because he dropped 43 and he's having a good season, but he hasn't shown consistency as a starter. And if we and he has the ability, but I want someone to prove it. If we're gonna trade assets, which we'll get into why Kuzma is and someone else on that team is a better option in a second. But if we're gonna talk to Charlotte about anybody, you go in there and say, I want the Louis bag. I don't want the Levi bag. I want the Louis bag. I know the Levi bag is good. It's gonna last me some years, but that one's gonna get me into the party. And I'm trying to go fuck the party. I'm not gonna get into that because I live in Dallas and she lurks. The motherfucker, she might be outside the nigga window. You know, she anywhere and everywhere. I don't know. Which is a vampire. She spits poison. But shit, I like to drink. Anyways,
but he's averaging 13 and 6 right now. Like, what are we doing, Dallas? What are we doing?
That's why I had to rant about the PJ Walker thing, because I was just like, and it's no disrespect to him, but it's like, if you go on trade deadline and we're going to talk about Kyle Kuzma, why are you talking about a guy that's a reserve on a team? You have Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Stop fucking playing, please.
Bro. And you know what?
Stop fucking playing.
The Mavs have done such a good job of drafting and developing. Just keep doing that. Don't be giving up your draft picks, man. Just keep doing that.
But to me, if it's a guy like Miles Bridges, and
they're not even, bro, stop it. They're not even thinking about Miles Bridges.
But then the problem is, and the reason why it pisses me off, because other than the package deal I think they should get from the Wizards, Miles Bridges is the guy that would fit in perfectly here for the type of team that we run. And the Mavs, more than likely, if Miles Bridges came here, they would win a championship in 4 years. Guaranteed. And he would sign back after this year, after he played with Luka 1 year, because the style of play that Luka has and the style of play that LaMelo Ball has is different, but it's the same, because they're going to keep that motherfucking ball in their hand. They're going to shoot some threes and they're going to throw them lobs. And Miles is interested in being a pest on the floor, hitting his open threes and getting a couple isolation plays. And with those two guys, every play you get is going to be isolation because the whole team's going to be guarding. But let's talk about Washington and Kyle Kuzma.
The
Wizards. It's because don't hate because the way a lot of people that I say I would like to have Kyle Kuzma, they look at me the same way you did and go, I said, you got to take out the way he dresses.
No, I don't care about that. He's a good player, but here's my hang up with it.
Go ahead.
How much does he move you? Like when I look at Dallas and look at the landscape of the West, does Kyle Kuzma really move the needle that much for you?
Here's what I'll say. And it's not necessarily does Kyle Kuzma himself move the needle. It's does that piece fit in? It's like if you already have a great car, nice paint job, everything about it's good, and you got a race on Sunday, you're not going to go get a random driver. You're going to go get someone that can really fit in and drive the car. You're going to get a piece, is what I'm saying. And he is a piece. Maybe he's not the driver. Maybe it's a bad analogy. Luka's the driver. Kyrie's the engine. And this motherfucker's the paint job. Either way you want to look at it, I don't care. The point is, you bring in a guy like that because that guy knows how to play championship basketball around other guys and not be the number one option or not have to be included so much in the offense. He knows how to play defense on 1 through 4. Good. He's not just a guy that you think can because he's tall with long arms. He's shown that he can do it. Proven entities. If you're going to trade something like a high draft pick or trade something like a player that's young and valuable, you need to get a proven entity in return. You don't need to go out there and get someone that is a maybe. PJ Walker is a on the bright side maybe, but he is a maybe. A guy like Kyle Kuzma is a positive and he's going to do his job. Now, to me, the thing is this. If you're going to go get one guy and trade a lot, you go get Miles Bridges because he's young. He's already shown Defensive Player of the Year potential, and he can get his around other star players that are ball dominant. if you are going to go to the Wizards, you need to tell them to throw in a Daniel Gafford. Now, whatever you throw in to get him, as long as it's not your young center, you
Give
need to
them
throw him
Powell.
in as well.
Give them
Nobody,
Powell.
nobody wants him.
I know.
But I agree. But nobody wants him.
Hey, I would look if I can have my choice from the Wizards, I would take Gafford. I would take Kuzma and Poole.
I see. I don't think that
they won't give up that.
They won't give up 3, but I think that they would give up, even though we'd probably have to give up something that we want to keep. And I'm thinking Hardy.
I give them Jaden Hardy for
That's what I'm saying.
Poole.
I'm thinking Hardy. No, I don't think they're going to give up Poole because they're not going to give up both guys that they had to pay to. But Kyle Kuzma kind of wants out, or not wants out, but Kyle Kuzma could be one that's on the way out. So I really think that what you need to do is you need to just go ahead and try to make a trade where you get both them guys, because the Mavericks' main issue, yes, Grant Williams not working on the defensive side of the ball like we thought he would.
And we knew he wasn't, though. We knew he wasn't.
We just hyped him up. You know, you got to gas up your players. But they need a guy that can play wing defense 1 through 4, and they need a defensive presence on the inside that's not a rookie. And that's why you say, like, oh, man, Dwight Powell, you trade him, because Dwight Powell, hippity-hop, like, it just doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? We could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to shit on it. It just doesn't work out. So why don't you – we need him more in, I'll say, in tune, athletic big men that can play. And Daniel Gafford's perfect for our system. It's just a matter of, can you get Kyle Kuzma with it? So if you're trying to get multiple players, I would rather the Washington trade. But if you're going for one and you're talking to Charlotte, stop talking about the cheap products. No offense, Walker. Go for the shoes that have the tag on them that's got the glitter on it and shit that say, ooh, not the one that says sale. We're not here for sale shopping.
Yeah.
We're not here for clearance. We're not here to rummage. We walked in. I want the new shit. The good shit. I want that. I'm not going in the dispensary and saying it smells good in here, which I got in the Reggie aisle. No, my nigga. I want the gas. I came in with a lot of money to get the gas. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want the Bobby Brown.
The trade deadline is tomorrow. I do expect the Mavs to make a move. Maybe it's Kyle. I think when it boils down to, I think it'll be Kyle Kuzma. Now, adding him to the roster is going to give you a 1-2-3 punch scoring wise. Like it's going to open some things up, and you hope that they can start giving more minutes to Derek Lively. Because I think now that lane ain't clogged up, you got good spacing. Just let him. I'd rather him fail. While I just throw him out there and let him fail.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Well, to me, it's one of those things where that if you make the right move, you don't have to do that. Like if you make the right move, you don't have to throw him out there to the Wolves. He could just play his regular minutes, and I think that's what Jason Kidd is screaming for without screaming for it. Like people are mad at Jason Kidd, and I'm like, listen to what he's saying before you get mad at the fact of wins and losses and what you think of his rotations, things of that nature. Jason Kidd is telling the front office, I have 2 killers on my team. I need everyone else to be able to work around that in unison. And the guy that does it well is a rookie. Josh Green is all of a sudden just got it. Like all I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden he just, and maybe because you draft him at 19 and it takes time.
Right. Draft and development.
Finally, you know what I'm saying? He's finally got it. So you know what I'm saying? But a guy like Hardy, to me, it's like, all right, what is it? I understand his role, but like what is it what you need?
He doesn't have another guy. He doesn't have an offensive identity yet.
Here he doesn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because here it's not needed. You know what I'm saying? After it's obvious nobody wants Tim Hardaway at this point unless I'm stunned tomorrow and he ends up traded. So Tim Hardaway Jr. is here. And he's going to shoot his shots while he's here. So you have one of those already. Hardy is not as egregious with the shot taking, but you need him to take shots, and that's not what you need.
Right.
You need perimeter defense, because when it all boils down and all this bullshit gets to the playoffs, Luka and Kyrie are going to be the guys with the balls in their hands, averaging probably 35 points a game, because the game slows down and they're going to have it. You need guys that are going to hit open shots. Tim Hardaway Jr., please God, if we don't trade you, we don't care about anything else, my nigga. Just hit open shots, bro. Just please.
You can't.
Just please, I don't care about the ones that are covered. You can miss those. Hit the open ones, cuz the open ones. Stop jab stepping and dribbling. Shoot them motherfucker. But
Man.
like, but no, seriously, but yeah, like I think that's what the Mavericks are gonna be. The Mavericks need to look for, and some of the players we have are good, but they're not good for us.
Yeah.
Look, I sound like I'm trying to break up with an ugly.
No,
player.
it's true.
It's not
It's
you,
true.
it's me.
It's true.
It's not you, it's me. But yeah, it's that's what I think it is. And I think the Mavs should make a move, and I hope it's Gafford and Kuzma packaged together. But I would love, and I think there's some other.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Last topic on the NBA. DeJounte Murray, where does he land tomorrow?
Man, I don't know. The Lakers was one.
Yep, the Lakers were.
Who else
was a team in there? Let me see.
I know that's the most prominent one. I think he gets traded? Yes, but how do I say this without being one of the people that they hate? What team moves the needle? Like, to me, we make a lot about trade deadline, and sometimes unless he goes to the Lakers, or I'm trying to think of who else is in championship contention that could actually have use for a defensive point guard who is consistent offensively, but he's a defensive point guard. So
basically, they're talking about the Lakers being the prominent team. Now they haven't listed the Pelicans, and they're saying that the trade talks as of right now are pretty cold on DeJounte Murray. You're seeing a lot more of Andrew Wiggins being tossed around in trade rumors, but let's see, DeJounte Murray.
Okay, all right. So hey, sometimes you gotta
Pelicans are in this.
That's what I'm gonna say. I was forgetting one. It's the Pelicans. So, and yes, I did have to look to remind myself. So he looked for it. Yes, I did. Fuck you, I did. No, now that one actually is kind of intriguing because that is a team that does not need him to score. And with that being said, his best attribute is his ability to, from what I've seen, is defend. He's able to defend.
He's a great defender.
Yes, and at the guard position, it's a premium in today's NBA. So I will say, I will shut the fuck up about a little bit of what I said, because if he does go to the Pelicans, that does move the needle for me, because
that'd be great.
Zion has been playing. And if they can add a guy in that's going to be able to play some good perimeter defense and allow freedoms to the big man and the tall, slender man on the outside, I like that one better than I like it for the Lakers.
So, but weren't we having the same conversation
just play better
when DeJounte Murray was traded to the Hawks?
Yes, but here's the difference. The Hawks were dealing with a guy on the outside that is in Trey I almost said Trey Lance. And Trae Young that is going to be, and this is no way like this. That's a two small guard set.
Sure.
The only time that a two small guard set, under 6'7" guys has worked is what, Isaiah Thomas and them?
Dallas.
I mean, but we had Dirk.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, so would that offset it all?
Yeah.
Like, I guess you could say that they had Rick Mahorn and they had Bill Laimbeer, but they weren't like number one and number two. Number one and number two were two small guards, and we haven't seen that work.
Dumars and Isaiah Thomas.
That's 40 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a long, long time ago. You know that's worked, and that's in, if that can't work in the rough NBA, and it's not working now. Hey guys, a small point guard and a medium to small shooting guard is not gonna fucking work. It just doesn't work. So to that, I don't even think it matters the talentedness of the players. Like, if one of them is 6'5" and 4'4", and one of them is 6 foot, maybe, like, it's not that shit ain't gonna fly. So if you move him to a team like the Pelicans, it's a totally different dynamic, because you have the spacing on the floor is going to be way, way, way better if you add him to the Pelicans, because now you're going to be able to put Zion in the dunker spot. You're going to be able to let Zion play Zion ball, because I think a lot of things that enamor people with Zion, he could dribble, man, fuck all that. And I think he would say, Fuck all that. Let me be the beastly bear I am. And having a guy like DeJounte Murray, that fast break is going to be scary because Zion no longer has to worry about being the guy to load up the troops. Brandon Ingram no longer has to worry about all of his shots. Hey, man, we don't wish bad things on this program. He is a bear with a bad toe. Now leave him be. But I think that Brandon Ingram being able to play his offensive game and also being able to have better shots with the spacing of the floor that a driving player and a scoring player consistently. Not saying he's gonna score like 30, but yeah, I know it ain't a diss record, but it's the truth. But we all want good things, so let's wish for good things.
I got hold on, I got another one for you.
Go ahead.
So the 95-96 Toronto Raptors, Damon Stoudemire, Alvin Robertson, two small guards. Hell no,
they didn't win.
They got clapped.
And I really say this for real. Like, I don't think it matters the talent level. It's just that when you come up with your front court and you have two guys on the court that are small, the goal is 10 feet. I'm gonna start a team with everybody 6'7" and up. One of my niggas is gonna get a post up, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. We in the NBA. Someone's gonna use a post up, and it's gonna work. And then and everything else can flow from that. So, and I think that's part of the problem that the Hawks had. So, and it's not, again, it's nothing against the players. If I was a GM and they said, Russell, you have a cold 6'3" point guard, he's the only 6'3" nigga that's playing in this lineup. Yeah. Like, or 6'4", he's the only one playing 6'5", he's the only one. You didn't see Gilbert Arenas running out there with a bunch of random niggas like that are his height. Gilbert Arenas is out there. He was 6'5". Everybody else was taller. He did work. You put a bunch of small guys on a basketball court with professionals, you're gonna fucking lose. Unless, and they weren't small because Steph Curry was the guy that was 6'3", 6'4", everybody else 6'7" and up. You just happen to have the guy that can hit the most threes out of anybody you've ever seen, which made it look like they're small as fuck. They were not just small as fuck. They was running out there with a bunch of behemoths and Steph Curry. And this is Clay at 6'6", 6'7", that had his knee and was D'ing the fuck
Clay's
up on
washed, by the way.
It's
over.
It happens. That the way that knee bent, I can't even be like, hey. Like it is a good run. What it is.
It was a good run.
But when he was in his prime, he was able to play defense against anybody 1 through 3.
And people seem to forget that he was an excellent defender.
Oh, he was beyond excellent.
Excellent defender.
And all of his videos of him getting scored on are like by Kyrie Irving. My nigga, like you know what I'm saying? Like elite scores. So, but yeah, I just think that it's a good move to get DeJounte Murray out. But I really could think that's the only team I could think of that if they pull the trigger, it would actually make me look at the NBA and say, okay, the Pelicans are worth looking at because as long as Zion's playing, we don't want to hear that shit from the crowd. Yeah. We're being positive. As long as Zion's playing, they are a capable team. But I think another player that spaces out the team like that would be dangerous for them. But other than that, where he goes is where he goes. It's just,
we'll see what that turns out to be. Trade deadline is tomorrow, so make sure you are on the lookout. NFL now. We'll pivot to the NFL. So Roger Goodell.
Oh, can I before we pivot to the NFL, just they say give people flowers over there. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. Y'all are balling out now. Y'all are playing good basketball.
About time.
I like to talk my shit, but I also like to give credit where credit is due. Phoenix Suns don't just look like three new niggas over there running around. They look like they getting their offense down, they get comfortable.
They look good.
And they look good. So we will see what happens in the playoffs. We'll see. But yeah, it look good.
Roger Goodell and NFL announced that they will be expanding to Brazil. And the Philadelphia Eagles will be the first team to play in Brazil. The game will be on a Friday night.
High school. They're going after the kids.
Yeah, which is messed up. Messed up, bro. If you ask me. But I mean, I ain't gonna cap.
Win that.
I would love to go to Brazil for that game. I don't care who it's against.
You don't want to go to Brazil for the game.
Just for the festivities.
You don't want to go to the game. You just want to show up with two painty bitches. Look at that.
But now listen, I don't know what kind of festivities most people are into, but what I've heard, the women in Brazil are beautiful. Everybody knows that. But here's the sticky.
They walk around with paint instead of clothes
hold
on
on,
them.
hold on.
I didn't
A
say I
buddy
was.
of mine,
I
a
didn't say
buddy
that
of
was
mine told
negative.
me that recently traveled to Brazil, and he said that women over there are being confused as men. There's a lot of
That's because some of them
trannies,
are.
a lot of
Some of them
trannies,
are.
and it's hard to kind of know what you're doing because
If
you
you
know
ain't
it,
gay, you know what you're doing.
the streets
I'm
are
gonna say this loud, and it might
confusing.
be canceled. If you know that you're not gay, you know what you're doing. Them niggas be gay, Sterling.
Hey, they say
them
the
niggas
block.
be gay, man.
Hey, the block is hot apparently in Brazil.
Yeah, it
So
is. It is gay
hey,
niggas.
for those of
Brazil,
you
talk about that
who are going to the game, you might want to be careful and just choose wisely. Is all I'm saying.
Ooh, I didn't see it coming. Yeah, you did, nigga. That's why you went out there. You didn't think we
Choose
catch
wisely. But yeah, so the
you saw that
NFL.
neck. I'm sorry. Hold up. I'm sorry, nigga. No, nigga. No. You saw that neck, nigga. You know you them niggas be hey Sterling niggas be gay out here, dog.
Hey,
Niggas,
to each his own. To each his own.
No, to each his own. To each his own.
Hey,
to each his own. But y'all went out
it ain't for me. But
what did the baby? What did the baby say?
I'm gonna tell you this
know
right
what I
now.
mean?
You get caught. You gonna get caught up after some drinks. And
I'm sorry.
You know, people get caught up. I'm just saying.
I have seen the video, and I'm an internet scumbag. I be looking at everything on the internet, from fights to nudes to everything. I look at it all, except for the Drake shit. I don't do that. That's gay. That's another nigga dick.
If
Get
you're
off
a
of that.
nigga
Y'all
and you
niggas
looking
talking
at
about
Drake,
what I tell
you gay.
Niggas is gay in these streets because I'm telling you, they went to Brazil to go catch that man butt. But what happened was they got caught, and I guarantee you, when the NFL go out there, man, when they gonna get caught in that man butt, they gonna be like, it was that. I didn't know. You saw it that example. You knew that it was not Brittany and it was Brian. But anyways, back to sports. Back to sports. We see you niggas out here. Don't think you slick. Niggas gay. And if you want to go back to jail, you're gay. All this shit promoting jail time. Them niggas gay up in that motherfucker. But anyways, not all of them. But the ones that want to go back, they got a boyfriend. But nah, the NFL going international on a Friday.
Like the longest yard.
It's a big ass robot. But nah. But the NFL going to the Brazil. I think it's cool. I think that people are like stuck in old ways. Like with Doc, I know we talked about the NBA already, but like with Doc Rivers was like, have you ever heard of travel time? Shut your old ass up, nigga. Like niggas travel across the plane all day now. We may not be used to it because we're not used to it. But a nigga 2022, they've traveled so much that like they're used to it now. So I'm not tripping on it. I think them going for Fridays is kind of weird.
It's kind of weak. It's kind of weak.
I know for a fact in Texas that shit ain't gonna work. It's solidified.
Expansion is not.
I would no cool. like I will, because I don't have like a high school game I follow, but I'm speaking for the person and the people that I know that watch a lot of high school football from the state of Texas. On Friday, if they have an affinity to a high school program, they don't give a fuck about the NFL. They're watching them kids.
Sure. I don't know, man. The NFL expanding is one thing, but at what cost, man? At what cost?
Here's what I think is the good thing about it. I think what the NFL is trying to do is, with the fact that they're adding more games, they're trying to scramble up the schedule, because they're trying to be like, look, guys, the reason why this doesn't work is because you're always playing on one day. So if we make you play on Friday and you don't play again until next Sunday, you're actually more rested. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's one thing they're doing. And plus, I'm gonna watch it, but that's because I ain't got shit else to do. Nigga, I'm lame in these streets. I don't party, nigga. Have you heard of what they're doing nowadays? Like, have you seen the list that says the rules of going out nowadays? I'm glad I'm old and don't do shit, nigga. I don't want to go out. You can't smoke hookah. You can't sit and drink. You can't not drink. I've seen people say you can't not drink. There's not a dance floor anymore. So I'd rather, you know what? In fact, let me change my whole opinion. NFL, please do this, because I need something to do on Fridays. Because I
don't know. I think that's a terrible day to schedule a football game. It's terrible, dog. It's terrible. I don't know, man. Listen, I think it's all about money. It's all about revenue, and they're trying to globalize the market, which I totally understand, but I don't know, man.
It's I'm sorry. I think they got me. I ain't gonna have shit to do. I ain't gonna have shit to do.
I will be okay
out.
with this Brazil game if they show a lot of like native females, and I'll be cool. I'm already watching one. I'm already watching one in Jalen Hurts. I want to see other ones. So, and Nick Sirianni, but don't get me started on the Eagles today.
Go ahead, speak.
Nah, fuck that, man. Fuck them. I'm mad at the NFL, man.
You know, with me, I try to be unbiased, but it's everything. Fuck Philly.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro,
you deserve no good things.
None.
The fact you got Jalen Hurts on accident, it's like stealing a baby. You shouldn't have got him. You shouldn't have got him. You should play for someone else, but you got him. Yeah.
Man.
Like, fuck Philly. Fuck Washington too.
The
Giants, y'all cool because y'all had Eli.
Speaking of coaches, though, Dan Quinn is the head coach for the Commanders now. That might hit home for you a little bit.
Not really hit home. It's kind of like when you tell someone to leave and they ain't left, and then finally,
are you a fan of the move? Are you a fan of the move, though?
Yes, I am a fan of everything changing from the last couple years. Because guess what, nigga, you lost. I am a fan of change in sports when you lose. I am not with sitting in the same spot. If you lose 2 years or 3 years in a row, nigga, blow it up.
So
make some changes.
Who's gonna be the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator?
I want Rex Ryan. I've been waiting for you to ask me this shit all fucking night. I want Rex Ryan.
Why?
Yes, I said it because I am biased and I am a fucking fan. And here's what I have to say about what you're probably thinking. All of his antics in air quotes that he does that people don't like, and I love, because by the way, I loved his.
I have firsthand experience about Rex Ryan.
But guess what? In the 3 years that he did his shit before it fell off a cliff, it worked. And for what we need him to do,
you know why Dallas, it worked?
Why?
Look who he had on defense.
But look who he had on defense. I'm saying no.
I'm telling you right now.
If you put this two and this two, and here's another thing: Rex Ryan is the only one that can walk. And pause, but I want it. I want it all.
Nigga said he wanted all.
Money sock. What he say? I want it all. Brand new socks and drawers, nigga. I need it, nigga, and I need Rex Ryan to bring in the pay. Guess what? He's not going to be our head coach. So that's number one. That backs me out of the whole, you got to worry about Rex. No, I don't, because he's going to walk in that room as a defensive coordinator and say, guess what? Mike McCarthy gave this to me because he ain't got to deal with it because he got enough to deal with Foe and getting that right. And that's what Mike McCarthy do. He's the only person that I think on the radar for Dallas right now that can walk into the room besides Mike Vrabel, who needs to be a head coach, but besides him that can walk into that room and say, look, y'all, this is where you want to go. This is where you are. Look, y'all. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. Wait, because I'm about to get into the X and O's of it. Look, y'all. Y'all got a 3-4 team and played with the guy that's a 4-3 guy that ran a lot of cover 3 zone in his best scheme. Oh, shit. I had a little incident. In his best scheme. My chair almost broke, nigga, in his best scheme. Now you have a guy that's going to sit there and say, Diggs, Bland, Gilmore, Micah, guess what I run? Attacking, blitzing, hell-raising defense. And that's exactly what you guys need. And y'all can't tell me otherwise because you tried to run the shit last year. Oh, yeah, and by the way, as a defensive coordinator, I have won a championship. And by the way, as a head coach, I went to the AFC Championship 3 times, beat Peyton Manning, beat Tom Brady, and I did it all with Mark Sanchez. Did I get to the ship? No, but I could coach my ass off. Man. Now, and lastly, before I let you go, his antics.
I don't care about
by the time his antics set in, the Cowboys probably would have won 2 Super Bowls. I think that Rex Ryan is the perfect addition to the staff. And he wants to be a DC. He's not a guy that Dan Quinn wants to be a head coach. Mike Zimmer old.
Let me share some stories from the Bills. His time with the Bills. Okay. Rex Ryan, the defensive coordinator, I understand the lore and where you're coming from with this. I mean, when you look at his time with the New York Jets was phenomenal. He had some decent moment with the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with Rex Ryan. It's the details.
Okay.
Rex Ryan is not a detailed oriented coach. He comes from a line. His buddy Ryan, who was his dad, that his scheme with the Chicago Bears, and he's so entrenched in his dad's legacy, which is not a bad thing. But Rex and his defensive philosophy for today's NFL is outdated. And when I talk about the details, dude, always the defense was always confused about who's supposed to be on the field. 12 men on the field, have to burn timeouts and such and such. And this happened for 2 seasons. Like Rex, either he needs to, if he becomes a defensive coordinator, he needs to hire really, really good positional coaches.
Okay, can I say this? Can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
All that you said is true, but do you think then that why they take their breaks? Mike McCarthy took a break, had to learn how to adapt to new football, how to adapt to new things, and now
if
he's
he takes the test. We don't know if Rex took the test.
But no, but I'm saying that like even though the Cowboys failed and their ultimate mission, whether it's the NFC Championship, whatever, even though they lost, we still have to respect the fact that the man Mike McCarthy has come back and he's able to put forth a good football team. Otherwise, we wouldn't be mad when we lost. We just accept it. This is a good football team, and he is the head of it. And his reasoning why he was able to improve was I took a year off, and I was able to see what I was doing wrong from afar.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Rex Ryan's time off has done nothing but help him. He's done nothing but work with his former player.
How do we know that, though? How do we know that?
How do you know anything? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like and not in a over exaggerated way, in a way that you should be because you had him, is like you Bills fans should be jaded because you got him off the Jets and it wasn't a good time for him to be a coach at that time. I think that after he took all that with the Jets and lost, he jumped on the next opportunity that was handed to him, and y'all happened to be just, you know what I'm saying, and negatively affected by that. And
I need you to agree or disagree with this statement. The odds of someone changing is it better that they change, or is it the odds of them changing statistically worse?
Statistically, you are going to be correct in saying it's worse. But in recent history with these older coaches in the NFL, we have seen that they have been able to change philosophy and change how they think, and it be positive. And on top of that, I want to add this to it. Add this to it. You guys at that time weren't at the upper echelon of talent as you are now, correct?
Correct, but they were good defensively.
No, but I'm
offensively
saying
they were trash offensively.
If you were
to Tyrod Taylor and yeah.
But if you were to compare a situation and saying, okay, Rex, like that time, I'll ask you, who was y'all's Revis at that time, and not comparing talent. I'm saying like
Stephon Gilmore.
So Stephon Gilmore, young Stephon Gilmore, right? Who do we have on our team? You
got Gilmore and Diggs. I mean, Bland.
I'm saying, okay. So looking at from Rex Ryan's view, he's looking like, okay, I got the second guy that I started with in Gilmore. He knows my shit. He knows what I want to do. I got a guy in Diggs who we've seen knows what I want to do. They have this third guy in Bland who they're getting at a discount. And I'm speaking as if I was Rex Ryan. They got this third guy in Bland that's another corner. I love me some corners. They also have, they have a top 5 pass rusher in the league and might possibly be the best athlete in the league, and Micah Parsons. And by the way, they have a very good another good defensive lineman by the name of DeMarcus Lawrence, who with all these pass rushers, he's best against run defense. So like I think if you're Rex Ryan, you're looking like this is the best opportunity for me. And if I am a Cowboys exec, I'm looking at it like, okay, I have already made the decision to sign Mike McCarthy back. We're not going backwards, Cowboys fans. It's happened. He's here. If he's here, Dan Quinn's gone. You need to replace him with something of equal value or better.
Okay, so can
That's Rex
let me
Ryan.
challenge you on this. So
Go
let's
ahead.
say y'all do get Rex Ryan. Okay,
Okay.
going to a 3-4 defense is not it's not bad. There's like 12 teams that run 3-4 defenses in the league right now. Right.
Mhm.
Here's the problem.
We have
that you
3-4
guys
players, by the way.
linebacker, you gonna have to figure out that linebacker room outside of Michael Parsons.
Go ahead, though. Go
You know
ahead.
what I'm saying? You're gonna have to figure out.
Scheme wise, what is more adaptable for a linebacker that's smaller, 3-4 or 4-3?
It just depends on the personnel.
If you have a bunch of
Depends.
guys that side to side, and you have the
Right
opportunity,
now, I would say 4-3 because you have a lot your nickel fronts because teams are playing. The way the NFL offenses are playing, you see a lot of nickel. Now, we saw a shift this past season where teams are using more big people, right? They're using more heavy sets, which goes back, the NFL goes in cycles. So it'll probably go back to a 3-4. Teams are going to start running that 3-4 defense. But then on the other side, you got to look at this. The lack of good defensive tackles and nose guards, there's not a lot of them out there anymore. So teams can do it. You just have to draft the right personnel.
And see, and this is why I'm a 3-4 guy, and I may be coming from left field in a thought process that may be thought of as like, what the fuck? But it actually is true. Like I think that when you have more athletic players, you put them in a 3-4. I think the more physical. When I think of 3-4 defense, I think of physicality. I think of front seven play, and I think of big linebackers. When I think of 3-4 defenses, I think of athletic linebackers, side to side play, and a massive nose tackle up front, and two defensive ends that can get it. You have a guy like Michael Parsons, who is an extraordinary passer.
He would be a right outside linebacker in a 3-4.
And you know what? You can do so much more with that.
He's TJ Watt.
Exactly. And I'm not saying put him in coverage. I'm just saying you can.
But he can do that too.
No, I'm saying he can, but he can also you can move him around more, and it's not going to affect the way that the defense runs. I just think that it is a great move, would be the perfect move for them to make. And I also think that the way that that Rex calls his defense, he's an attacking man coverage defense type of guy. And whether you like the personnel or not, which I love it, he looks at that as this team is already built and is going to have a draft pick for me. I'm not looking to be a coach, so you know what I'm saying?
No. They could do it. The Cowboys could pull it off because you could put Van Der Esch inside, and then Overshown can be your guy in coverage, right? Overshown is and he got injured, so people don't really remember Overshown.
I don't think Bell plays if Overshown is healthy.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So shout out. But
so you probably want to draft a couple linebackers. You got Mozzie, who came from a 3-4 defense at Michigan, right? So he could play that young nose, he could play the 3 tech, he could do
Hankins.
Hankins also played in a 3-4 when he was at Ohio State.
But that's what he's for. Like when this. You have some defensive tackles, Dorrance Armstrong, also plays for the Cowboys.
Yep.
That are built for a 4-3 because there's 3 other guys.
I put Dorrance on the outside.
But I'm saying, but you'll get what I'm saying in a second. Like he's built for a 4-3 because you have 2 guys together.
Yeah.
Now you got guys like Hankins and Mozzie Smith. Vita Vey is my favorite that take up Haloti Ngata. Yeah. I'm going to take up all of this space and let these 4 athletes behind me and these 2 athletes beside of me do their work. I'm going to take up space. And I think the Cowboys have a roster built for that. And I think, Dan Quinn, you're special because you took a 3-4 roster and made it a 4-3 defense and had success. But I think a guy like Rex Ryan comes in, and this is in his wheelhouse. Like he just gotta be Rex. Like, and I watch a lot of Get Up because of him on Monday. So I'm a big Rex Ryan fan. I love this Jets team, but I think he's the type of guy that's like, they have all the pieces. I just got to put it together for them, and I can do that. And in the defensive coordinator position, I can do that in the best way possible because I ain't worried about nothing else. It's just me and my guys, and I think that's what Rex Ryan really, really loves. Right, I think he really wants to.
So here we go. So the Cowboys, and this just concluded by this is as of 3 hours ago. Here are their candidates: Mike Zimmer, 3-4, 3-4 though. Ron
Love him,
Rivera,
love him. I'm sorry, love him. Old, hell no,
who runs the
hell
4-3.
no, hell no.
Aiden Durd, I'm not sure what kind of defense he ran, and then you got Rex Ryan. So it looks like they are vetting both schemes, 4-3 and 3-4. I don't know anything about Aiden Durd.
Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and the Cowboys collective. If y'all hire Rex Ryan, you are smoking. I mean, Ron Rivera.
Yeah, don't hire Ron Rivera.
Crack.
Don't do that.
I watched the game. I watched the game, and at halftime, the lady came out and said, "Y'all had a rough first half. What'd you tell the boys at halftime?" And he looked in the camera and said, "I let them work it out." No. I don't want him anywhere near my team. The unknown guy, maybe.
Durd is your defensive line coach. Never been a coordinator.
So the unknown guy, he's within house. Motherfucker might get the job, but no, unproven. What you're trying see, that's the thing. I think as a Cowboys fan, and as we go back and forth, and you as a Bills fan, like team fans, like you're stuck in a position of, okay, are you at the position of growth or are you at the position of get it done? If you're in the position of growth, then you go get an unknown guy that might be the guy. Now, if you know he the dude, do it, because I don't know shit. You're in the building. But if you don't know he the dude, then don't do that shit, because you're in the phase of get it done. You got a quarterback that you're about to pay a whole lot of money to that nobody thinks can get it done. Maybe not me, maybe not the next guy, but a lot of people don't. You got a receiver that's about to make a shit ton of money. You got one of the best defensive linemen in the league. Your team is not the Texans. The Texans have room to, not because they're bad, but because they're young and they're upcoming. They have room before they get to the get it done or blow it up stage. The Cowboys are in the get it done or blow it up stage, and they don't have time for some guy to come in that we don't know to fuck up. You know, and that's nothing against him. Just don't,
yeah. I mean, he might be a hot candidate, coordinator candidate.
Zimmer old. I'm gonna say that one more time. Mike Zimmer is old.
Zimmer knows his shit. So like Zimmer, he used to run a 3-4. He's kind of switched to a 4-3, but what he does in his 4-3, he uses big nose tackle, the kind of two gap, right?
Rex Ryan light.
But out of those names,
shout out to Terrence Newman though.
I'd go Rex Ryan out of those names. If that's their candidate list, I go Rex Ryan.
And you know why? Because
I can't wait to show you. We will watch all 22, and I will show you Rex Ryan.
Well, no. Damn. I don't think that Rex Ryan is without flaw. And like, I'm a fan, so I want to say, fuck that. My nigga Rex got it. You know, I'm a Rex Ryan fan. I love Rex Ryan's style of defense, but I'm just saying the type of coach that I've seen and the type of players we have, like we don't even have to go draft his Revis.
He could either fuck it up.
And I was gonna say that, and I'm not saying, because when I said this, or I had someone say like, you're crazy. Diggs is not Revis. Not saying he's down that level. I'm saying if you're a coach that runs a system and you see a guy that looks like, yo, he can run my shit, like, I'd want to coach him. And so it just fits. It just fits. And then of course with his attacking blitzing style, I would love to see it. But yeah, Zimmer. And if I had you a blank piece of paper and handed you both their resumes, you'd pick Rex Ryan without even thinking. You wouldn't even look at you'd look at both their pages and go, yeah, no, give me this guy. Give me this guy. Oh, it's Rex Ryan. Oh, damn, I done walked into a hornet's nest. But hey, live in the hornet's nest, man.
Well, I hope you guys get the best candidate, whoever that is. Rex Ryan will probably be your best bet.
Really, it's Mike Vrabel, but he should have probably been a fucking coach. But we're not gonna talk about that. He's too intimidating. There's too much bitch asses.
Right.
That sounds like it came from us. I'm gonna say it out loud.
I don't even think that's real.
It sounds like, if it is real, it sounds like came from
dumb. Us. You're an NFL person. Like, everybody's big. Like, stop. Like, get the fuck out. As we wrap up the show, though, so any prevailing Super Bowl thoughts? Because we're going to be blessed with football for the last weekend.
Oh no, we know. Joshua Bradshaw. If the 49ers win, you got to drink up, my boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Sterling gets to direct that shit with like a whip. Drink it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, he got to come on the show and have his little, so we can watch him drink, So the bet is if not the Cowboys, God,
Never
if the
that.
Chiefs
Not with our
win,
star ass.
if the
Yeah.
Chiefs win, you're drinking,
Yes.
right? If
Yes.
the 49ers win, he's drinking.
Yes.
So it's gonna be good, man. I don't know who's gonna win this game.
You got to.
I'm going with the 49ers.
And
I
you
want
reserve
the 49ers to win.
you reserve the right to change your opinion all the way up until next Wednesday. No, this is the last one. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the last one. So this is the last one. Go ahead.
Is
So
it?
yeah, who you got? The final answer.
Who I think is gonna win, or who do I want to win?
I'm stuck in mine. So this is all on me.
I think
Final
the Chiefs
answer,
are gonna.
who
I
you
think the
got?
Chiefs are gonna win. Chiefs are gonna win.
You
The
just want me to
NFL, the
Yeah.
NFL the Chiefs have to win. The NFL just fucking loves them. They're gonna win. The Mahomes legacy, the GOAT conversation, the Chiefs are gonna win the game. The refs are gonna make it to where the Chiefs win the game. What's up, J-Rail?
J-Rail,
Am I
we
wrong?
love you.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But I'm sorry. I got to interact with J-Rail. J-Rail, we love you, but you late as hell, bro. J-Rail, you come in.
We about every week he comes in when we done.
Yeah, exactly. And we love you though, and we want you to keep coming in. But my nigga. Come in earlier so we can fucks with you, bro.
He on black folks time for real.
That nigga on CP time for
that nigga on CP time, bro.
But we love it though. Shout out to JRail03. Thanks for joining us. But no, yeah, I think that the 49ers are gonna win. I said it's about time that they get it done.
You think they're gonna win, or that's who you know is gonna win?
I'm gonna be real with you, Sterling. Like, hey, Rail, you gotta watch the game so you can be up on everything. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that because we love the people that watch our shit to know they shit because we are a show for the people. We want the people to talk. But dog, every night I said at the beginning of the show, Rail, you weren't here because you on CP time. So I'm gonna say, hit that bell. You know what I'm saying? So you can put it in the background while you watch the games, kid. You know what I'm saying? We got you though. But we fuck with you because you fuck with us and it's love all day. So you know what I'm saying? Word to your mother, son. Fresh one. I had to do it. Sorry, Sterling. I had to.
So you really think the 49ers are gonna win this game?
So I do. Because I think that in the time that we have seen these both teams ascend to the top, the Chiefs have gotten there. Kyle Shanahan wants this and needs this more so than anybody else. And I think another guy that needs this and wants this more than anybody else that we're not really thinking of, and I'm starting to think might be my MVP, is Christian McCaffrey. I don't think that Christian McCaffrey is going to let them lose. I like every game. A lot of people talk about Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy, you deserve all the respect. I be talking shit, but it's out of love because I'm an Oklahoma fan. We played against Iowa State. You know what I'm saying? He did the same shit, came back in some games, lost some games. But I will say this. In all these games, one guy that I said is ready to run through a motherfucker face, around a motherfucker, do whatever it takes. Christian McCaffrey has been fucking balling. Like, and he has been the spark plug. Like, he has been the Draymond Green to Brock Purdy, not by doing it in person, but by play. When he breaks those runs and when he scores touchdowns and when he trucks people, he's tapping Brock Purdy on the shoulder and saying, we can do this. We can do this. Pause anything that needs to be paused. But yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So, Thorley, can I ask you a question? This is way off topic, but I saw that Sean Sherrod joined the show. LaMelo Ball or Ant-Man? Which one? Pick
Ant-Man.
now.
Ant-Man.
We gonna ride this bus till it dies, Sean. We gonna ride it till it dies. LaMelo to you.
You better.
Fam.
You better stop. You better stop.
You better LaMelo cracked his wrist. What were y'all saying 3 years ago?
It don't matter. What we saying now?
See, look.
What we saying now?
Look. I'm just saying there's time. But okay, so back to it. No, I think the 49ers can win. I think that I really think that the amount of weapons they have, Christian McCaffrey, Debo, I think is going to be a problem. Snead can only do so much. Chris Jones is going to have a hell of a game. And on top of all this, man, at some point, even it happened to Tom Brady and Gronk. At some point, a defense is going to say, you guys are not just going to play 15 to 87 all day. 11 going to have to do something. 4 going to have to do something. And I think if you give Kyle Shanahan, if you give the 49ers like these 2 weeks, you think Dre Greenlaw, Warner, and that's why I love the Super Bowl, and I love that it's the teams that won, because it's the niggas that wanted it. You think Dre Greenlaw and Warner is possibly, who's the best pass coverage linebacker in the league?
Oh, Warner.
Is it Fred? It's Fred, correct?
Yeah, Fred.
Fred is, and I'm not saying there's no one in this lifetime that can lock Kelsey up. This game is going to be about making everything as hard as possible for the other team. And when you make everything as hard as possible for the other team, in my experience watching football, all that extra shit don't work. It's whoever can operate at the highest optimal like capacity in the offense. And I think Brock Purdy is just the computer for that. Like, I think when people act like Bosa doesn't exist, I've been hearing talk for weeks, and it's like, so Bosa don't exist. Nicky Bosa don't exist. Okay, all right. He's not there.
Yeah,
now,
no, Bosa is a force.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying I hear all, and I love Pat Mahomes, but I hear all this talk, and I'm just like, guys, 97 is a problem. The only time that you see 97 not making issues is if they have multiple guys on him, or if he's playing a guy like Trent Williams. Oh my God, he's on his team. By the way, Chris Jones, if you do happen to move to a certain spot, you got to face him.
Yeah.
So I think the 49ers are just built for this. It's their moment. But what do I always say? I picked them niggas, Sterling, so watch them niggas lose.
All right, so we're gonna see about this Super Bowl, man. I mean, it's gonna be a good game, regardless. It's gonna be a good game. I just feel like
95 is a problem as well.
The NFL is not gonna let the Chiefs lose, and I hope I'm wrong. I don't believe.
Okay, so can we get some OT? I know we about to close, but can I get some overtime? Because I like when you say that, I gotta talk to the people out there that believe in scripting. My nigga,
scripted. It's not scripted.
No, or like totally scripted. Like, bro, the Ravens didn't lose last week because we love the Chiefs. They lost because them niggas didn't run the ball.
No, I'm saying this. Let me
say this real quick though. Y'all didn't lose because America loves the Chiefs. Stephon Diggs dropped it. A lot of other plays could have been made, but the main moments, and I know I sound like Unc Shay, but he's right. Moments, because sports, life, everything. This is why we love sports, because sports is a macrocosm of life, bro. Like, shit happens, cuz. But when it comes down to time to make the play, you gotta make the plays.
No, I agree with that. I just think that the games can be influenced by the referees a little bit.
They can, but
that's all I'm saying.
No, you are. I am not. I hate referees, and referees that don't like that I said it. Fuck you, my nigga, because y'all be on some whole shit.
Yeah.
But referees fuck up games. But the problem is, bro, when the game comes down to it and it's time to make a play, when that ball is thrown to Diggs, and he knows this, we're not supposed to talk about it because we're not pros and niggas getting their feelings. And I had a TikTok about getting it done, Harden fans getting their fucking feelings. Everybody, this whole generation that has a problem with accepting the fact that you lost, nigga, because you didn't make a play. Make a motherfucking play. When it comes down to it, in all these games that referees have fucked up, we can all point to a play that should have been made. Nigga, make the play. Yes, they want Taylor Swift and them to do it because that story would be magnanimous
yeah, for sure.
and it would make a lot of fucking money. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be the team on the other side and say, fuck you, fuck that, I want my ring. This ain't about a popularity contest, and I'm so sick and tired. Not of you, of the people.
Yeah.
You just point it out, but to act like that ain't the case, bro. Like, there are certain times when you gotta hit the shot. Kawhi Leonard was in fucking Toronto playing against Philadelphia. You know what he did? Yeah, there was calls that didn't go his way. He dunked on them niggas in the game, and he shot that shot, and it went dink, dink, drop, nigga. It failed because he got the shit done. What's Patrick Mahomes doing right now? I don't give a fuck about your popularity. I don't give a fuck about who's supposed to be here. Me and Travis
they're
get
great.
this shit done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and all the cheating and all the bullshit that happens and the refs are hoes. Yes, my nigga, but there's always going to be a pass to Diggs. There's always going to be a did Dez catch it, and he did catch it and you got hold. But which is the only exception I'll give because I'm biased to the Cowboys. But even in that game, plays should have been made, my nigga, so you didn't have to go for that. Like, but so it's like at a certain point, do I believe referees should be full-time? Yes. Do I believe referees should have their eyes on the game and that should be their main focus and should get paid mad money? I think referees should get paid in the millions to do their job so that they focus on only their job because, hello, people that don't get it out there, that's why we hard on sports individuals because the reason why you make $1 million fucking dollars to do your job and make the fucking play is because you make $1 million fucking dollars and you ain't got to worry about the other problems in life. You ain't got to worry about your lights being off. You ain't got to worry about buying Christmas gifts. You ain't got to worry about going to work for 9 to 5. So nigga, get in the gym. Nigga, get on that 100 and make the fucking play. Stop crying about a motherfucking zebra. Them niggas are there, and they're there because of us. And we pay for the seats. Nigga, $60,000 to go watch a fucking concert in the Sphere. $2.5 million for a stadium. I mean, for a field pass or whatever the fuck it is, a suite at a fucking game. And y'all got the nerve to complain because a nigga said you ain't catch the motherfucking ball. Catch the ball, nigga. A nigga paid $400 for a fucking seat that's made of hard-ass plastic to watch your bitch-ass play. Make a play. Don't tell me about the nigga in red and white and black blowing a whistle. Make a fucking play. The Cowboys, even though they got their ass blown out by Green Bay, make a fucking play. I don't care. Like, we as fans do not give a shit about the other shit. Do you give a fuck about when the doctor fuck up? Like, I heard, and I know we're going to OT because I got a rant on this. Because I heard Gilbert Arenas say today, and I love Gilbert Arenas, and he rarely says shit that I don't agree with. But he said, we are the only profession, speaking of athletes, the only profession that gets ridiculed by people that don't know what the fuck they talking about. Hello, welcome to America, nigga, customer service, nigga. Apple, they have people that don't know shit about computers asking why the fuck my phone don't work. Nigga, what are you talking about? Like, everybody in every profession of all times gets ridiculed by the people that buy the shit. Because all they got to do is work hard, spend their money, and buy the shit, and they want it to work. Guess what? Work hard, buy seats, win games, nigga. Like, we don't really give a fuck about the other ins and outs. And y'all can say, man, that's fucked up. But you know what else is fucked up? A motherfucking soda costing $20. A motherfucking beer costing $35. But you know what? A suite costing $2.5 million. But you know what? Niggas spend it to go watch a motherfucking ass. So please, quarterbacks, don't throw interceptions when you don't need to. Running backs, don't fumble the fucking ball. Wide receivers, catch that motherfucker. Anybody that plays the NBA, if you rise up and shoot that bitch, make it, nigga. I'm on Prize Picks, yes. And I want you to make that shit. I'm tired of these niggas bitching. This is the most bitch-assness shit I've seen. You worried about if I win or lose. Yes, nigga, because that's what it's about. It ain't about having fun. My daughters have fun. Nigga, your son has fun. Y'all's kids have fun. Nigga, go win a motherfucking game for the G's in the crowd, nigga. Ah, that's what we screaming for. We ain't screaming for no other shit. Damn. Like, I'm tired of hearing it, bro. Like, it's a rant that goes on, but don't tell me about we don't understand. Nigga, you don't understand not being able to pay a bill because you're a millionaire. You don't understand not being able to do other shit because you got money. So you know what we don't understand? Yo crying ass talking about the refs. Fuck the refs. Catch the goddamn ball. Zay Flowers. Don't dive, my nigga. Like, it's pretty simple. You know, it's like, hey, all the San Antonio Spurs niggas not named Victor Wembanyama pass the goddamn ball to the ticket, nigga. Like, it's pretty fucking simple. Y'all niggas be acting like fans don't matter. Nigga, we do, because we spend way too much money on niggas that don't give a fuck about us to watch y'all do a kid sport, nigga. We love y'all. And so, motherfucker, y'all should love us back, nigga. Goddamn. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. New media, old media, man, nigga, win a fucking game. And if you win the game, to the victor go the spoils. And if you lose the game, get your flowers when you're done, like my nigga Melo did. And I'm done.
All right. So that was overtime right here on the Hesi Podcast. Make sure you tune in next week to hear another Rush rant on some bullshit.
Had to, bro. Had to, man. I'm tired.
He emptied both barrels tonight, but it's been a good show. It's been fun. Hey, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the Hesi Podcast. We want to make sure we say thank you to all of you who listen to the show live and off air. We do appreciate it. The show is growing, and we will be back next week. This is the Hesi Podcast, and we out of here.
तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा 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 तेरी याद